This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Thursday means it's Fishbowl Thursday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a super cool Dominaria-influenced modern deck to look at today. This is Goblin Storm. Comes to us from Jordan C, so congrats and thank you to Jordan C for sending in a super cool deck. If you want your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday, make sure to leave a link in the comments, or you can send me an email, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Anyway, let's break down Goblin Storm for Modern. So, Goblin Storm is made possible and built around two new additions to the Modern format from Dominaria, Skirk Prospector and Goblin Warchief. So, Skirk Prospector probably doesn't look like much. 1 mana, 1/1, but it lets you sack a Goblin to add a mana, and that is a key part of our combo. Goblin Warchief, on the other hand, does two really important things for our deck. First, making our Goblins cost 1 less to play is really important to what we're trying to do and to storm off with our Goblins. Second, giving all of our Goblins haste lets us do some sweet things as far as actually winning the game after we combo off. So how are we using Skirk Prospector and Goblin Warchief? The next important part of our combo, and the reason that we're splashing into green, is Fecundity. And Fecundity is a weird card, doesn't really see play. Basically, what happens is whenever a creature dies, that creature's controller draws a card. So if our opponent's stuff dies, they draw a card. If our stuff dies, we draw a card. But for us, this is a massive combo piece, and the downside of our opponent maybe drawing a card now and then doesn't really matter, because when we play Fecundity, we're hoping to just win the game on the spot. So how do we do this? The trick here is to sacrifice our Goblin. So the best example of this for our deck is Mogg War Marshal. Let's say we get down our Skirk Prospector, maybe we got out a Goblin Warchief to make our Goblins cheaper, we have out our Fecundity, we cast our Mogg War Marshal for 1 mana, we get a Goblin token, we get the War Marshal, we also can sacrifice the War Marshal to get another token because of the death trigger. So this means for 1 mana, we can sacrifice 3 different Goblins, War Marshal and 2 tokens. That's going to draw us 3 cards, so it's basically like Ancestral Recall. It's also giving us 3 mana from Skirk Prospector, so it's like a combo of Black Lotus and Ancestral Recall. 3 mana, 3 cards, basically the most busted card in the history of Magic. So we draw 3 cards, we draw more Goblins, we keep going, we keep drawing, and then I will tell you how we win the game in a minute. Before we talk about the win condition, gotta mention Bogart Harbinger, which is our way to find all of our combo pieces. If we need a Skirk Prospector, we can find it. We need a Warchief, we can find it. We need our War Marshal, we can find it. So Goblin Harbinger is kind of the glue that holds everything together. Also really sweet that as we are comboing off, we can tutor up with something with Bogart Harbinger, put it on top of our deck, and then the next Goblin that we sack to our Skirk Prospector with Fecundity out is going to draw us the card that it puts on top of our deck. So we don't really got to wait a turn to get that card. We can get it right away as we're going through our combo. So the other part of the deck is a ton of fast mana. I almost think this deck has too much fast mana, but it really speeds up the deck. In theory, this deck could win as early as like turn 2. I don't think turn 1 win is possible. Maybe it is, but it would be a super long shot. But turn 2, with all of our fast mana, so Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, just add additional mana. +1 red mana. Simian Spirit Guide, same way. Battle Hymn can potentially add a bunch of mana if we have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 Goblins out. It adds just oodles and oodles of mana. So let's make sure we can start our combo, get our Goblins and our Fecundity on the battlefield as quickly as possible, start comboing off and drawing our entire deck. So how do we actually win the game? We actually have 2 different plans. So plan 1 is we basically draw through our entire deck, as we were talking about, with our Skirk Prospector, sacking stuff like our Mogg War Marshal, drawing through our whole control deck with Fecundity. As we cast all these super cheap spells with all of our mana, cast all of our rituals, we cast and empty the Warrens, and we should be able to get 10, 15, 20 copies, some massive number of Goblin tokens, which are going to come down with haste thanks to our Goblin War Chief, and then we just attack and kill our opponent. If just the empty tokens are for some reason not enough, we also have 4 Goblin Pile Drivers, which can just be additional sacrifice fodder as we're comboing off, but can also just be like 40 power attackers or something once we're swinging with all these hasty Empty the Warren Goblin tokens. Also worth mentioning that we can mini combo with Empty the Warrens with all of our mana. Like, we don't have to win the first time. Let's say we kind of mini combo, we play a War Marshal, we draw a few cards, cast a couple rituals, we cast and Empty the Warrens with all the mana we're making from our Skirk Prospector, from our rituals, get maybe, let's say 10 tokens, then we just sacrifice those 10 tokens, draw 10 new cards, add 10 more mana, and then continue to combo off. But sooner or later, the Empty Warrens can kill our opponent. If we're not going to win with the empty beatdown plan, sooner or later, as we do our mini Empty the Warrens and draw our entire deck, we will find our 1 copy of Grape Shot to just go directly at our opponent's face, or we can also do this with Zulaport Cutthroat by just making a bunch of tokens, sacking all the tokens. Worth noting that Zulaport Cutthroat does not target the opponent, so it gives us a Grape Shot essentially, kind of like a reverse Grape Shot, I guess, but a Grape Shot effect that wins through Leyline of Sanctity, Witchbane Orb, stuff like that. So a nice backup plan for winning the game. If for some reason we can't win with Empty, we can't win with Grape Shot, Zulaport Cutthroat gives us a plan C for getting the job done. Mana base wise, fetch lands, searching up some shock lands. Anti-Shuffle is an untapped dual land, some forests, some swamps. As far as the sideboard, Goblin Chieftain gives us a way to win without comboing off. We can just sideboard into like a really weird Goblin beatdown deck and try to just play a bunch of Goblins, pump them up with Chieftain, win the game that way. Another Cutthroat for fighting through those Ley Lines of Sanctities and whatnot. Anger the Gods, Flame Slash, give us a bit of removal to deal with our opponent's stuff. Guttural Response is Display of Dominance, let us force our combo through counter spells essentially. And then a bunch of artifact and enchantment removal, Shattering Sprees, Ancient Grudge, Corrosive Grip to get rid of whatever artifacts or enchantments are bothering us. And that is Goblin Storm for Modern, and that's better instant deck tech for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.